Saturday and looking into ULM?
Saturday's game, I thought offensively we started getting back to Marshall basketball. First time that I saw it kind of extend. I've seen bits and pieces of it, different places, but I thought we extended the play. Almost all of our actions, if you go to the film and look back into it, you could see that our shots were coming off of how we play, not how a player plays, but how we play. And I thought, well, the key, there you. I thought we did a good job. And I told those kids we did a good job defensively. We were alert. They're starting to do the things that we're teaching in practice more often. Very few mistakes. Beat a good team. We play good, but that doesn't mean you're a good team. Playing good one time doesn't. You got to extend that, and we got to be more consistent. You know, as your all's term is, well, you're on a roll. Well, we won one game. It's a lot of games, and we have to continue to prove that we're a good team by extending that play all the way through.
And the way you guys kind of kept the lead, there was really not much of a threat the whole game. You guys kept them at bay. How important is that?
Well, you know, obviously it's important for the coach. I don't have a heart attack over there. You know, I have to sweat every shot that you take. So it's good for me. I don't know how it is for everybody else. But, you know, we came out early. Kevon hit a couple of threes. That helps. It opens it up. It opened the floor up. And, you know, we thrive on open floors. That's the way we have to be. We have to take threes, and we have to make them. You know, if you shut down the threes because you're not making them, then the offense just dies. You might as well just start over again. So we started making shots that we make in practice. I see them make it all the time. And, you know, it really helps that Obina now is our leading three-point shooter, I think, percentage-wise, which I know you guys sitting right here going, holy mackerel, you know, and if I'd have been you, I'd have shut that down a long time ago. But I'm not you, and I have patience.
There's a reason.
No, I guess. I could have been wrong, too. But, you know, it worked out. He's shooting the ball really well, and as he expanded his game, he's becoming a much better player. To me, oops. To me, you know, one of the hardest things in coaching to do is not pigeonhole a player into how you see him play and not allowing him to be who he could be if he became that. And it's hard as a coach to, okay, here's what he does, but this is what he could do. Because you win with what he does, and you're hoping on the other one. And that's a leap for a lot of coaches because your livelihood and your success is on what he does. And do you have much patience do you have to get it to where it can rise? And then you can be better, not only him personally, but your team can be a championship type of team. If you shut that down too early, middle of the pack, you might do a little bit better by doing it that way. If you never got to that point, you might be a little bit better, but you never be a champion without Obina spreading the floor, coming out, making threes, putting the ball on the ground, and being a full player. It takes a lot of patience. You know, I'm not saying you're wrong when you look and say, why is he shooting a three? You know, I can understand that. But, you know, my vision was him making threes, and this is what this team would look like if that starts happening. And I thought, seeing it in practice, I've seen him able to do it, and I've seen a kid that'll work at it to get it there. And, you know, he deserves all the credit for getting in the gym and getting it there. So, you know, where were we? I'm rambling now. Anyway. Huh?
Ask you about keeping leads.
Yeah, so how we got to that, keeping the lead, is that, you know, we're starting to play like we play. And that's how we kept the lead. And they're there. You know, this is what I give them. This was a tough season preseason. We played very tough mid-major teams and then had to go to Kentucky when that was a tough time to go to Kentucky. But they don't quit, man. They stayed right with each other. They haven't broken down. A lot of teams can break, and you have to be very careful with your scheduling with teams, especially growing teams like we were going to be. But we made the schedule prior to what happened in the portal. It's a difficult times for college athletics right now. I think Corny was showing me that Nick Saban, his rants in the media, and he's saying that even in football, it's a different game than it was 4 years ago. It's almost semi-pro, and I don't how long it lasts. Yeah, how long it lasts and how long this goes, I have no idea. But you got to navigate it somehow. We got to try to keep Marshall relevant and in the hunt for championships.
When you look at ULM and Texas State, what do you see out of those two, and what are you looking forward to about going on the road again?
Well, UNL is a big team. 6'11" center, he's got size to him. I think the kid Nika, it gets a little further along, but I won't try it. But talented kid, 6'7", he's got some. He's senior, 6-year, 5-year guy. He's got moxie to him. He's good. Had a little guard that didn't start last game, I think, for whatever reason. But I think he'll be starting. A good shooter. I can get their names. I brought it with me, so just in case. But good shooter. I think his LaCour, good shooter. And, they haven't. I'm sure coach is sitting there going, wish we'd had more W's and L's. But they play, I will say this, they play hard, very physical. Again, this is a physical league. Almost everybody you play, you probably go down the line and say they're physical. So this is a physical team, that offensive rebounding, they're strong, they go to the rim. Start up, most of them 6'4" and up. They got LaCour's 6 foot, but the rest of them, they got another big guy comes in, 6'11". So it's going to be a test. You go away from home, it's always a test. So my focus is not so much on them as it is on us, as it always is. Texas State, I don't know anything because I play one game at a time. I'll know a lot about them Thursday night, but I don't know a whole lot about them now, except going back to Nate's hometown and hope he gets fired up. It's a big game. Other than that, don't know anything about them, but I do know about Monroe. We watched film last 2 days, and if we play like we play, we got a chance against anybody.
You think they might be surprised, Texas State, about what they see on film from Nate this year?
I hope so. That means I'm a good coach. No, I don't know. I don't know. Again, it's different styles and players, as you see, even the ones that left us, like Andy going to Mississippi State, or Handlogden to Florida, or Jared to Louisville. You get in the wrong system. Maybe it's not even, I shouldn't say the wrong system. If the system doesn't fit you right and the coach doesn't feel comfortable, guys that are really good can get really bad. And guys who are only so-so can get really good if they run into the opposite side of that scenario. So, making sure that, what he was asked to do, I guess, in the Texas State system might not fit at him as well as what he's asked to do with us. And because of that, you're going, wow, how did you not see that? Well, it's just really, it's the same player. He can do the same things, but the opportunities are different in both. And that doesn't mean Texas State was wrong. Maybe they were going to play a different way. There's a lot of different ways to skin a cat. This is the way we do it, and I think it opened up the floor for him. He didn't have to fight the extra big guy down there. It's a quicker paced, and he's athletic. He's quicker paced. He can handle the ball, which he didn't get to do there, but he can. So our system, and I didn't change it for him. That was the system. He came into it, and it fits him. And so now he's looking better. He's getting more confident. And you go, wow, that's not the player we saw. I said, well, confidence, feeling comfortable where you are, being in the right place at the right time makes players, and it can kill players too. There's some players that can beat it, like LeBron. You know, no matter how you play, he's going to play good. But there's some players, most players, not some, most players need that type of scenario that I just gave.
When you look at a guy like, I know we've talked a lot about Cam Crawford. Obviously he didn't see the floor against Louisiana. How do you get more consistency out of him, just all around?
I don't know, but if you got an answer, I'll listen.
That's
The biggest thing I think with Cam is that he is never. Well, first of all, he didn't play very much. He didn't play much as a freshman. He didn't play at all as a sophomore. He's got a game that he's developed that it's all kind of individualistic. It's not a ball movement type of game, So it might not be a great fit, or he could be a little bit more like Kevon, who's really starting to adapt his game to how we play, and that's why I think he's gotten better. But not only has he gotten a little bit better, I mean, he's not scoring as much, scoring a little bit less, but the team has got a lot better because he's kind of fitting into how we do things and trying to keep the rhythm and the flow of the offense going. His defense has gotten a little bit better. Both of them guard the ball really well when they're focused and on it. They both had a little bit of dead spots when the action kind of got away from them a little bit, and they didn't anticipate the next thing. And so we're trying to get that dead spot out. Kevon has done better with it than Cam has right now, in that Kevon has seen it. You can see him correct a mistake yesterday in the game, or the day before yesterday, whenever it was, the other day that against Louisiana. Came over to the bench, ball came off on the one side, and he got caught in one of those moments where he's not anticipating what's going to happen next. And got the rebound, laid it back up, called timeout, came over and said, Kevon, you can't be over there where you got to come back to the board to rebound. You have to understand that. Wasn't 3 plays later, same scenario, boom, back he comes. He went up, I don't know if you remember, it's when he almost got kicked or they thought he was diving for the ball coming back in there. Well, that's the kind of reaction that you give them credit for, because he's listening to coaching, trying to do it. And he's kind of gone a little bit further along than Cam Crawford. Cam Crawford's sophomore, hadn't played as much. So maybe, give him time and see. But he has to make that transition from kind of I always say, an AAU type of game to a college game. And again, he hasn't a lot of experience. He hasn't had a lot of time. He's a nice young man. And we'll see. But if he doesn't make that transition, then he has to be a superstar at coming to practice and working these guys out and making them better. He has to be good at that. You got to have something on your team that you provide, and that could be on the floor, on the bench, in the locker room, in the community. But something you have to bring that makes Marshall better. And he does a lot of things. His grades are good. He's easy to talk to. He's good in the community, so he's getting some things going for him. He's got to make that transition, though, to make sure our team is good, too, with him on the floor.
Does it just resonate quicker, Dan, with somebody like Nate? I mean, different players have times where it takes them longer to acclimate to that system. Is that part of it?
I don't know. I'd like to answer you, Keith, and be smart, I know most coaches are smart all the time. I'm just smart sometimes. Sometimes I can't figure it out, I don't know. I know this. We try. And I'll try different things and different ways to approach them. And not everybody responds to the same, with criticism or praise or setting them down, making them play more. I don't know. You try everything and see what goes on. And sometimes you have success with it. I will say this is one of the hardest things to do with coaching. Sometimes there are successes, and you see those, and everybody brags about how they came along, what you did, and all this stuff. And every now and then they'll see the failures. And, I put it on myself. I failed. I'm not 100%, I hope he looks at it that he failed. I'm looking at it like I had to try to find a way. I hope he's looking that he's trying to find a way because it takes both of us. It's not just one. So, hopefully he'll see because he is a talented kid. He's got offensively, he can make shots that we don't have people can do. But, it's got to be more positive than it's negative right now. My feeling is I put Kyson and Nutter in. They play more with the other four, and the other four, it's easier for them with them on the floor right now. I don't think either one of them can make some of the shots that Cam can make, but at the same time they don't make mistakes and they flow with the others a little bit better. So, when you're looking at our team, you got Nate Martin, Obina, and Cam Crawford, and Jacob Connor. You've got to be able to flow with those four right there because that's where we're going to win or lose. So you got to come in, your defense and your offense has to get in step with kind of how they're doing it because they are a little bit better at doing it the Marshall way, the way we do it right now. And if you're that odd guy out, it's a competitive world. White's trying to fit in some, very athletic, and can shoot, I think. Every time I think he can shoot, he misses it. So, when he gets to where he can make a shot, which I think he will, he's a little bit like Obina. He's going to make those shots because he can shoot them. I see him in practice every day. He can do it. Hadn't got it into the game yet, but if we can get him going, and got Nutter, who's a fireball, who comes up and he scrambles and he fights. He'll get you that rebound you wouldn't think he'd get. He's a little more athletic than you think he can get, and he'll make shots. Kyson can make shots. He's more athletic, and he makes smart decisions. He flows with the team. He's out there catching the ball, ready to shoot, does things that make us better. And, as a coaching staff, I don't make all the decisions, but the final decision's mine. But certainly listen to what all they have to say, their assessment of players, and if if they want to really get to where he wants to be on the floor, then he's going to have to flow with those four guys, and hopefully he will, because if he does, he brings something maybe the others don't bring. So we'll see what happens. That it? All right, fellas. All right, y'all take care.